Okay, it is 7 o'clock, so we will call the regular meeting of the Cannon Township Board to order for Monday, March 10. We'll start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Jessica.
Bow our heads. Dear Lord, thank you for this wonderful day and this spring weather. It's been such a pleasure. Please let us have wisdom, give us lots of discernment, and let us continue to make the best choices to serve the township. In your name, amen.
Amen.
Nancy.
Jim,
Here.
Cy,
Here.
Henry,
Here.
Jessica,
Here.
Steve,
Here.
Todd,
Here.
David.
Here. All right, motion to approve tonight's agenda.
So move.
Second.
Support.
It's been moved and supported by Todd. Any discussion or amendments to it? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Need a motion to approve bills General Fund 19079 through 102 and EFT 820 through 824.
So moved.
Support.
My mic did? Sorry.
Okay.
It's been moved by, who supported that?
Spencer.
Spencer. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Received the reports. Building permit report is self-explanatory. Dave, any comment on the treasurer's report?
Fund balances are healthy, doing well, and all unpaid property taxes as of March 1st have been turned over to Kent County.
Perfect. Jim, did you want to make a motion to approve the closed session meetings from October?
So moved. If anybody on the board wants to see those, they're here. According to our attorney, it's kept short and sweet. So those will be sealed and put in files until next year when they'll be destroyed.
From February 10th.
Yep.
Support?
Support.
Oh, was it already?
I made the motion.
I know. All right. It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. Good. All right. Public comment. Who has something to say to us? Anybody have? Come on up.
I'll go first.
Gerald.
My name is Attorney Gerald Gavin. I work with Carla and Wagner and Robert Ponstein with West Michigan Properties. First thing on your agenda tonight is the Kids in the Park.
Could you push that little button until it turns green?
It's green.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
And yeah, I want to see what you have to say first when we get to the agenda before I really know what to address. But I just want to introduce myself. And Carla and Robert are traveling, so they asked me to be here tonight just to listen in and see what's going on. I would say that I reviewed the packet as posted on your website. It has a settlement agreement in there that is a proposal that is not the current state of the proposal. That was the one previous to the one that I'm privy to. Maybe something's changed and no one's told me, but I should be in the loop on that. So with that, I'll be right here when we get to that part of the agenda.
You can, anytime you want to stand up, just raise your hand.
Okay.
But we'll, anybody else? Because we can get to that, I think. Anybody have anything to say? Nothing? You can come up later if you want. Okay, so on that, I was provided from our attorney, Doug Van Essen, who filed this motion for summary disposition on the Kitson parking matter. There is a hearing date of April 11, 2025. And it, as it says, it is plaintiff's motion for summary disposition under MCR 2.116C10, which basically said that there is no genuine issue of material fact except for damages. And then we have the brief in support of the motion for summary disposition. And then an exhibit to that is the, let's see here. Did we not? We did not attach the exhibits. Did we? We did not. That's
Exhibit C and B.
Where are they?
The page 43 and 44.
Oh, they went after the assessment thing. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so we've got. No, that's not right. Those are the exhibits to the special assessment.
Okay.
Yeah, so we didn't attach the the specific exhibits. We
Oh,
just did the
okay.
brief. So what I would suggest, Gerald, is that you get with Van Essen and Dickinson. Maybe we're not far from an agreement.
Just state up here. I don't think we're far from agreement at all. I mean, there's just a few key points that are important. If there's been a motion filed, it has not been served on all the parties because this is literally the first I've heard of it. So I will serve.
Well, I'll run that by. Oh wait, what's this? Oh wait, I think the exhibits were before it. Yes, there we go. So the exhibits, I think this is the parking. You're right. Page 17 is the parking agreement. Well, all I know is what our attorney told us and what he told me to put on the agenda. That this is what he filed, and this is the exhibit, and this is the agreement. And I understand too that part of what we will have to do is an enacting ordinance so that we can enforce a violation of the parking agreement. That was my understanding. So if he didn't, I don't know. I mean, he told me that he had filed it and he had noticed it up. And let's see here on the notice of hearing. It says I don't see a proof of service, but I didn't ask for that. So I would get with him and I will tell him what you said, that you haven't gotten it, right? Let me make sure I got this right, that you haven't gotten it.
I have not.
And one, and two is that's not the current agreement that's being right.
The agreement that is in the packet, I didn't read it through in its entirety today, but it looked very familiar to me. Was one that was proposed in January, that was then refused, and another one was proposed that
All right.
I didn't hear an official refusal on, but it didn't sound like it was going to fly. And that was the end of the conversation. Last I heard as of February 6th. I just checked my email inbox today.
Well, like I said, I'll call Van Essen. You get with him and Dickinson, and if you guys can resolve it, great. Since I didn't file any of that stuff,
Yeah, I'm not blaming you. I'm just,
yeah, so I can't really comment on it, but Van Essen can. So
yeah,
let's do that. And then the 21 days, February 11th, we're still within the notice period, the 21 days on it. So, but if we have to reschedule it because of a mistake that was made, we'll get to it. Or we won't, but he will. Hopefully you can work it out, though.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
All right.
Anything else for us?
Not particularly. I mean, I don't think this is quite the forum to hash out the whole agreement in its bits and pieces, but I just wanted to make sure that I was on the record.
No, we didn't anticipate that would happen, but that's okay. We just wanted to put on the record what was filed because it's public record.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right. What do we got? Jim, you want a public hearing on the special assessment?
Yeah, I make a motion. We open the public hearing for the Silver Lake Special Assessment Street Lighting District.
Support? It's been moved by Jim, supported by Henry. All those in favor of opening the public hearing?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anybody have anything to say on the street lighting special assessment district? If not, the motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
It's been moved by Jim and supported by Henry. All those in favor of closing the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed. We have another. Oh, now we have the special assessment resolution. So go ahead.
Correct. The resolution in the packet is the requirement to set up a special assessment district, so that there'll be 13 streetlights in the new Silver Lake. I forget what the name of it. Yeah, in that development, it's on the old golf course,
Mm-hmm.
and this will allow us then to accumulate the bills for those lights, and then there's 32 lots in there. They will be divided among the 32 lots and be added to their property taxes, similarly we do to Bella Vista.
Right. They
Numerous
pay it,
other
not the
ones.
taxpayers.
Correct.
Right. All right. Is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Support? Support. All right. It's been moved by Jim and supported by Henry to approve the special assessment district resolution number R2025-02. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good. All right, now I'm going to make a motion that we open the public hearing on the 25-26 budget. That's
Support
my
that.
motion. It's been moved and supported by Jim. All those in favor of opening the public hearing, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Anybody want to comment on our budget? Come on up.
Hello, Kim
Hello.
McKay, 7260 Loma Linda Court. I just Dave, could you explain to me the columns again, and maybe even for everybody in the audience so they kind of understand
The
it?
columns,
The columns for the budget,
like as in end
the
and
ending
balance.
balance, like what exactly?
Yeah,
So when I looked at ending balance, I'm assuming that is the projected
end and
ending
balance.
balance.
End and balance 3/31/2025. Yeah, that would be projected. The amended budget 2020, but we had an amended budget in 24/25, but we're going to have another
Right,
proposed amended. So
right.
we're so let's start at year to date 3/31/2020. Those are actual numbers.
Okay.
Okay, and
All right.
then when we
Yep.
go
Nope,
ahead.
that makes sense. So I just had a couple of questions. I'm wondering, there was a line item for cell tower lease and revenues for $412,000,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not reflected
Okay.
in any of the balances.
Okay, it is reflected in the number you just quoted. There's a new accounting announcement that came out that Peter Hefner and I worked with, and we got to bring that 400,000 in ratably over the term of the lease. So
Okay.
we're not recognizing the 400,000 immediately. It's going to be boom, boom, boom throughout the
Okay,
Throughout
so
the-
you haven't actually received any funds. It's just being,
money's in the bank. We got
Okay.
to the way we reflect it in the financials is going to be over the term of the lease.
but it's not reflected. The 412 isn't reflected like in the budget.
That's correct. That is it. 471? Did you say
412.
412?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the other question I had was, if you look at the total year-to-date balance on revenues, it's like 3363, which is way over what the amended budget's going to be. So I'm just wondering why there's a discrepancy. Is at that 412,000
Okay, where are you looking?
on the very bottom of total revenues?
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's 3363, but the amended budget is only at 3,079,000.
Okay, yeah.
So is that the 412 again?
Right. When
Okay.
we did the proposed amended budget,
Mhm.
that's what we came up with. Our year-to-date actuals, we had more taxpayers coming forward than at that point in time.
Okay. One other thing that I didn't understand was the transfers out of $900,000,
Y-
but the budget was 270, and then I noticed that the entire budget is in the hole 613,000.
The entire budget is the whole Cannon Township budget is in the hole?
Fund 101.
From 101.
Yep. Last page. Page 6. I'm thinking it's a discrepancy between the 900 and the 270, but I'm just wondering why it wasn't corrected or how you're going to handle that.
You're looking at page 6.
Yeah.
Where are we?
Ending balance 3/31/2025. It shows a negative 613,968.35 cents.
On page 6? I don't see that.
6 of 16.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I think some of that money was transferred into the capital fund,
Capital Improvement Fund.
capital improvement fund.
Right, but you can't end having a negative, right? in that fund.
In the general fund?
Right. I mean, when you go to file it with the state, it can't be negative.
Um,
At least
Well,
I don't think.
I know you can't be overdrawn, right? And if you go negative on an account, the state lets you know, right? But that's not really is this just an accounting thing? Or how does that work with this negative six?
Well, yeah. I mean, it looks to me like the $900,000 puts you in the hole. So it's like almost like you have to transfer the money back out of capital into 101.
yeah. To give you a definitive answer, I'll look into that.
Okay.
How's that sound?
Okay.
I mean, the money's there, I promise everyone. So.
I'm sure it is. I just wondered. Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions on that? You asked me if we should have Peter here, and I said no, didn't I?
Think Jim.
Yeah. So sorry about
Yeah,
that.
sorry about that.
I will answer that question. Send you an email. You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions or comments on the budget? If not, we'll have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to close that.
Now, we included the resolution here. In the past, we've done it at the same meeting, and we've waited till the next meeting.
Well, I think that what we're going to do with that question, you'll report back before the next meeting, right?
Yep.
And then we'll vote on this next time
Perfect.
because I don't want to vote on it if there's an issue with it.
Exactly.
All right.
So we will table this for now.
In fact, you might want to think about getting an opinion from Peter or an explanation, and we can even put it on the website. Because the budget was published on the website, right?
Yes.
Well, then let's have that explanation as to why that an issue was raised at the public hearing. Here's the explanation. All right, good. All right, next up, we'll just table that. New business is Venman's fee increase. Jim?
Our sexton, John Venman, sent me a new proposal for fee increases. It's basically about 3.5%, not a whole lot. So I make a motion, we approve the sexton's proposal for fees for fiscal year 24 or 25, 26, right?
All right.
Or
It's been moved and supported to adopt the Venman proposal with the fee increases. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next up is the cemetery fees.
Cemetery fees, what we do is we take Venman's charges and we add $5. So whatever he charges, we add $5 more for doing the paperwork and everything. And so this fee schedule is Venman's new prices plus $5. This one ends up to be an overall about 2.8% increase. And I make a motion, we approve the fee schedule for Camden Township cemeteries for fiscal 2025, 2026.
Is there support for that?
support.
Let me see that once. Why do we add $5?
Just for doing the paperwork. I didn't start it, somebody else did, so don't shoot the messenger.
Would you be okay if we didn't do that?
Wouldn't hurt my feelings, but we can take $5 out of that.
Can you accept that as a friendly amendment?
Yep.
Because we're already paying people to do the paperwork, right? We shouldn't charge people more. Doesn't seem like to me.
Yeah, one of the things, cemetery is supposed to be a zero budget item, and so what we take in,
So if we take this in and we pay him,
okay.
you okay with that?
I
Does
will
that
do
$5 help you anywhere, like for any maintenance, or do you ever apply those dollars to maintenance
No.
in cemeteries? Okay, so
We don't
separate.
do that. No.
Yeah, that makes
With
sense.
that amendment, you okay with that, Henry? You supported it.
That's a great idea. I'm all for that.
All right. With that amendment, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good. Landscape maintenance. What do we add to that?
Okay, nothing.
Good.
Stout Creek Landscape is our landscaper that does the Township Center, the historical building, and the Boston Lake Park. I've had a couple come to Jesus meetings with them the last couple years. And last year they did a much better job of weed control here in the township and at the park. Their total bill for proposal for next year is a grand total of $11,267 for doing maintenance for the year. And I make a motion we approve the Stout Creek proposal.
Second.
It's been moved and supported. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any? Okay. Pinehurst payment from Prime, right?
Yep, a notice from Prime that the first payment is due for the Pinehurst lift station to our construction company, Camming and Roosevelt's, in the amount of $12,367.80. So I make a motion we pay this number one application for that amount.
Support.
It's been moved and supported to approve the Prime request. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, the same. Okay, let's see here. There any questions or comments on the Joseph Rolecki email? No. Okay. Any committee reports?
Facilities committee met tonight, and we have received 14 bid proposals back on the solar system. It is extremely more complicated than I ever dreamed it could be. I asked Brian and Newhoff to look into it, and they said they thought they'd have something to me by tonight. They called me Thursday and said, boy, this is going to take us a lot longer than a week to go through. So they're looking at it. We looked at it. What we talked about doing is this is a big project. It needs to be thoroughly examined before we just take the low bidder and say, yeah, go ahead, start. We got to know about if they have a track history, if they have people like we have, systems like ours. So we want to. I was going to bring the whole packet, and I forgot it. 14 bids are about that thick. It went all the way from the cheapest, the least expensive bid was $195,000, and the most expensive was $534,000. So it's a broad spectrum. The shortest payoff was 6.9 years, and the longest was 13 point something. So there's a lot of stuff to look at. We'll keep looking at it, and it's probably going to take us a couple of months to figure out what we want to do, where we want to go. It's not in this year's budget, so whatever we do, we'll probably be talking about this next year to put it in the budget.
Okay. Any other committee reports?
Yes, tomorrow we have a planning commission meeting. New business is for a site condominium approval for Judson Farm, which is at 7305 Young Avenue.
Okay. Any other committee reports?
Yep. Park and Rec. The pickleball courts are open. I'm sure a lot of you are seeing. There's been people been using them and enjoying them. So it's
Good,
great
I
to
saw that.
see everybody out there having fun. The wind screens that'll be going on the fences are coming in tomorrow. They're being shipped in tomorrow, and we'll have those installed hopefully by the end of next week. So that'll be in place. The preliminary plans for the Keys Trail, the expansion of the Cannon Trail that would connect it to Rockford, is in. So our next step is any residents that are on Keys, especially, we're going to be reaching out to those folks and meeting with them individually to talk about the plans and how it impacts their property and make sure we've got everybody comfortable with what we're planning to do. So if anybody would like to see the plans, I've got them here if you want to see them, or if you got questions, reach out to me anytime.
Good. Anybody else?
I have one more on facilities. We talked tonight. We're going to put signage in New Bostic Lake Park. We paved the parking lot and it's striped, so the parking spaces are all marked. They will be marked Bostic Lake parking only, and unauthorized cars will be towed. And there's a number for Nelson Towing. And starting when we get the signs up, if we get complaints that people are parking there unauthorized, we will tow.
Cool. All right. Any other committee reports?
Yes, the Invasive Species and Wetlands Committee is having its first event of the season. It'll be April 26th, and we're going to be pulling garlic mustard around the township property here. More details will be on Facebook. We'll have an event, and we'll also post it out on the sign for people driving by.
Okay. Anybody else? Any other committee reports? If not, any comments by board members?
I have a comment.
Go ahead.
Back there by our agenda packets, I have some reflective gear that's from the Grand Valley Metro Council.
Cool.
I had an event last week, and I have some extras. So if anyone wants some reflective gear, take some, share them with their neighbors.
Okay.
I have a comment.
The DNR just put out an article that you're supposed to take down your bird feeders because of the Asian bird flu is spread by them. So
Okay.
I just read that tonight.
Cool. You want to go now, Henry or David?
David, yes, please. Our talked to the sheriff this morning while I was out walking about 5:30, and our friendly juveniles are back in business stealing cars. They were operating over at
Yeah.
Cannon Farms this morning. My recommendation would be to lock your cars. Do not leave your garage door openers in your car at night, and put them in the garage if possible, and keep your garage door closed. And yeah, it seems like when the warm weather comes, they have nothing better to do but to raise havoc in the township.
All right. Any other comments?
I have one Metro Council this past week. They are being impacted by the cutbacks at the federal level. They don't know how much yet, but some of the programs they're working on are now excuse me,
So glad you came tonight.
being defunded. I had so much on the agenda, I didn't want to dump it on somebody else. I'm losing my voice. So I'm done.
You're done. Yeah, turn that thing off. Can somebody clean that thing?
I'll wait.
No, you're not going to touch anything. All right. I have a comment. So while we were talking, I was looking at this. So Kim's comments, if you look at page 13, you will see under revenues of the budget, you will see transfer from other funds in the amount of 900,000. And that came from the general fund. And that transfer was the capital projection fund, project fund, right? We started doing that many years ago because we carry such a unusually healthy fund balance because we're, for good reason. And so what we started doing several years ago was transferring money rather than carrying a big balance in our general fund, we transfer the money to the capital improvement fund. So that's reflected on page 13 of 16. And it is item 699000, and that is in the amount of 900 transfer from other funds, and that is corresponding to the transfer out of 900 on page 5 of 16, which the net effect then when you go to page 6 of 16, the negative 613,968 really reflects a positive overall fund balance of 313,968 and 35 cents, right?
That is
And so that's a good point that Kim raised, but the state doesn't go on budgets. The state goes on what's actually in accounts, right? So there's no accounts that are overdrawn, right? We just transfer the money to the capital improvement fund.
Yeah, and for presentation, they will look at budgets. So in presentation purposes, we'll remedy that. When we do this budget, we're looking at. Yeah.
No, I'm glad you did, but that's why that is that way, right?
Yes.
but there is no.
It's a quick fix.
And on this, what is the? Yeah.
Kim, will you come to the microphone?
No,
Yeah,
that's okay.
yeah.
So what is the?
It fell through the cracks and it will be fixed immediately.
Yeah, we don't like that. What is the surplus that we have anticipated this year? We have a budget surplus, right? Anticipated.
In the general fund, that would be 25, 26 proposed overall. We're looking at about $16,000 for the 25, 26 proposed.
Oh, and through the entire budget.
No, that's a lot higher. That's account 101, fund 101. $725,185.
Right. And so there, and we always, well, almost always come in under budget on everything anyway, right? So it's very likely that this year, this fiscal year that's going to start here at the end of this or the beginning of April, we will make another capital contribution.
Most likely.
All right. So you'll clean this other.
For
this-
sure.
All right. All right. Anybody have any other public comment? No. If not, we're adjourned.